Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐑𝐄𝐔, talk about investing, finance, and professional development. It's the current time of 8:14 a.m. on the Eastern Time on September 2nd. Hope you guys have a good week and also happy Friday. Ethereum closed at $1,592, up about 0.40% so far. On the overall crypto market and the equity market, I would say across the spectrum today, on the futures perspective, knowing the fact that we're still about an hour and 15 minutes away from market opening and approximately about 15 minutes away from the August job report being released at 8:30 a.m. on the Eastern Time. So across the spectrum, I would say we're relatively flat as we're pending on the confirmatory signal, right? And the numbers that we need to know is the 318,000 as the jobs available, and also with respect to the unemployment rate, 3.5%, right? So these are the two numbers that we're marching towards in comparisons to Wall Street and economists' expectation, right? And with respect to some of the recent media front, I would say across the spectrum is relatively not the most active, knowing the fact I guess it's still morning. But seems like a Meta or Facebook and Qualcomm have struck a deal to make custom virtual reality chips for the metaverse. Interesting news. I mean, they have been burning quite a lot of cash, billions, from Meta onto cultivating more investments into the future of metaverse, obviously, so striking a deal with a chip company, a chip giant specifically, subject matter experts would be very synergistic, right? In addition to that, I'm also seeing news talking about with respect to Starbucks. It seems like they have a new executive named Laxman Narasimhan, and he's gonna be starting his new legacy, I guess, starting in April. And then some other news I'm seeing, seems like Lululemon has jumped after its boost on the outlooks and post strong earning beats. Seems like earning season is starting to begin all over again. So we'll see more news around that spectrum. And it seems like with respect to the news around the Chinese COVID situation, is still kind of percolating. It has not really progressed so far. So that's also another lingering international factor that can drive some hindrance onto the market. Not just the U.S. equity market, but all the overall financial market, if you may, right? So that's pretty much it overall. And again, right, just a reminder on the upcoming days, right? So today we get the job report, and I think we're despite how it's gonna be, ultimately the technical is still gonna be coming true eventually. So with respect to the technical front so far, you could see that on the daily we are quite bullish. So seeing some reversal in the near term, especially knowing the fact that today's a Friday and Labor Day is coming on the 5th. We might have some room of separation between now and then. And it could, if we are not we don't miss the economist expectation or Wall Street expectation by a lot, we should ideally see a green day today. Knowing the fact that we've been pretty much selling off for quite some time, right? Ever since the 13th of August when we hit that 2000. So we have sold off, with these two red candles. So now we are at resistance level of 1550 basically. But if we don't, right, we will come down further, faster too. But remember that on the 13th and 14th, we're going to get the CPI report. On the 20th and the 22nd will be the FOMC meeting, right? So my depictions or my predictions, I think it will be we might see a green day in the next couple of days. Despite if today was a red or green day, we should see some bullishness because the technical on the daily say so. But as the weeks durates, right, you're gonna get more elongation, and then eventually it's gonna sell down from here. And then as we get over the hump, by Q4, which is the Santa Claus rally, you should technically see some reversal from here, right? So that's Ethereum. So for Bitcoin, I would say quite comparable, right? Bullish on the monthly, Weekly is quite fused together, so it's not moving a lot. We're still sustaining around the 20,000. And then on a daily, you could see that we are looking for some reversal. So again, right, seeing some green pressure ahead, knowing the fact that again we've been selling off for quite some time, right, since the 13th. So seeing some rebound, if we are aligned on the job report, before obviously the CPI report, and the FOMC meeting that's coming, right? And then, with respect to earnings, that's something that's more of a wild card. We have to kind of be thoughtful about. But I think, it should be a good weekend ahead. My gut feel is that we should be ideally aligned with the job report. Um, I think the ultimate factor is going to be how aggressive are we going to be going forward, right? Because we already got the foreshadow from Jerome earlier in that Jackson Hole speech, right? And then across the spectrum, just taking a look at some other, look at the equity side. I would say the equity side, it looks quite bearish actually. You could see that we are quite bullish on the daily, but if you look at the weekly, how dramatic it looks. This cross section is gonna eventually cross down, and you could see that we do have, a sizable gap right here that needs to be filled all the way. So coming down, seeing 300 again on the Dow Jones would not be a surprise. On S&P, I would say similar fashion, right? Cross down eventually on a weekly, and that daily is looking like it's gliding. It's okay, but we need to kind of find a plateau as well. Monthly, it's looking for some plateau as well. So again, very similar in compared to Ethereum. I would say the overall crypto market. The Bitcoin is trading on its own kind of thing, but collectively, I would still say that daily looks like it should be. You should see some like short term like pump, but weeks out as we get closer to the main events, right? The FOMC meeting, the CPI report, and depending on how aggressive the Feds will be, we should ideally see some sell off from here. And then months out, we should ideally see some green pressure, which makes sense, right? Fund manager try to beef up their portfolio, right? So I appreciate you. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.